follows the path. That is now, as I mentioned, if you practice Dharma for next life's rebirth, a better rebirth, higher realm, some powerful individuals, some I wish I be born in the God realm, in the God realm, so there's the leader of the country, then I can rule the country, then your Dharma is not following the path, attached to this samsaric. Even though you are not attached to this life, but you attach to the next life in the samsaric achievement. So to that, we have to reflect on the suffering of samsara. It's very important. Reflect on the suffering of samsara. It's also very important to understand, to practice the loving kindness, compassion, especially to develop bodhicitta. There's somebody told me, there's so many methods of the practice of the loving kindness, and I have done all these things, and I really want to cultivate bodhicitta, but it doesn't come from my heart. Sentient beings, all sentient beings, your mother, I reflect on that, how mothers are so kind for you. Yes, I understand, but still my mind doesn't kind of, come out to cultivate bodhicitta. So I said, what should I do to that? There's so many theories of the practice of loving kindness. I reflected on this, but not so effective. So, as I mentioned, I said, you should reflect on the suffering of samsara. Very important. It's not that we're making bad, samsara is bad. We're not saying that, but we're reflecting on this. How sentient beings are real, how they are deeply rooted in the suffering, without knowing. Without knowing, you are in the precipice of the rocky mountain. You're very ready to fall down on the ground from very high, mountain, and you don't know it. So all our life, in the human life, so those who have a lot of privileges, all this, we're very ready to fall down. And there's no higher to go in the samsara. In the samsara, there's no highest to achieve. You go up and down. You become rich and down. You become powerful, down. See, there's no absolute powerful power. So look at these things. First, just reflect on this. Everything is transitory nature. And how much we make effort, work hard, sacrifice. Sometimes you sacrifice lunch, sacrifice your sleep. You work whole night, isn't it? Now, what at the end of the day, this is a suffering. Everybody try to escape the suffering. Try to hide from suffering. So pretend I'm okay, to be happy, Even though you're not happy, so I'm okay. It's just pretend happiness in the samsara. So we are like that, no? Even your heart, stomach is burning, you're smiling. Oh, okay. So Buddha is smiling, you know. He was looking at this. You know? No. So suffering is a dissatisfaction, basically. You know? When you are not satisfied, it's a suffering. You know? If you have such a delicious lunch, you know, so, but if you don't know how to appreciate, you know, if you don't know how to, say, how to satisfy that, still you are looking for something better. It's a suffering. As this morning mentioned, the contentment, appreciation is the best wealth. That moment you enjoy. Oh, say, I got enough lunch. I'm so happy. No? I have a roof on my head. I'm so happy. No, doesn't matter good or bad. No? That's the happiness. It's not matter how much you have for happiness, but it matters how you appreciate and content. So I'm happy. So every moment is opportunity. So you know everything's would know about everything's interdependent, interconnected. Nothing is independent. No. I usually say that, you know, when you have a bowl of breakfast, whatever, you know, piece of bread or oatmeal or quinoa or, you know, granola or any way mix of bowl you're eating, you know. So look at this, how many people involved to make this from many parts of the places. Nowadays, especially, you know, some fruits are coming from South America, from Europe, some is coming from Asia, you know. And we make a bowl of the food. Then agent involved all the agents they brought. And then we got that's bowl, you know. Just look at this. So I appreciate, I'm so grateful. This. And these all individuals who involve this bowl of the food. Everybody desire for peace and happiness. There's no one who desires suffering. And I'm enjoying this. So there we have such a great opportunity to develop loving kindness, compassion, because everybody is suffering so much. No? The farmers look at, you know, day and night they have to look after their farm. How much they go through suffering. If there's no rain, problem. There's too much rain, there's problem. No, too cold, problem. Too hot, problem. They cannot grow the crop enough well. No? So this year the harvest is not good because of such and such. You can hear this so much, you know. So everybody go through suffering. Usually we talk about the suffering of hell realm, hungry gods, all these things, which we don't see them, But you just look at the suffering that what we see in our day-to-day life, people involved. Yeah. The other day, the Walmart manager killed people, Where was that in the news? Oh, Walmart manager killed 6 or 7 people. Where was that place? Oh, Virginia or where? It's a manager, Then he killed himself, isn't it? See? So because so much else kind of unrelenting suffering is going through his mind. That's called hell realm. Usually you protect yourself, you kill others. But when time comes, you kill yourself. How much suffering is there? That's the hell realm. So much stress, pressure is going on in his mind that he could not cope with that. Look at the suffering there. So if you reflect really carefully, he was a manager. He's working for the company, so he get the salary, to feed himself and his family. But then he got such a great pressure due to many causes, and then his mind was just burst. The afflictions. And this is how much suffering is there. When your mind is calm, peaceful, even you dare to say some bad words, don't want to say bad things, But when the mind goes to such a wrong place, then you don't hesitate to kill. That kind of mental state. See, that's called hell realm. So much suffering is there. So look at this suffering. Develop compassion. This the root cause of mental affliction, ignorance. We didn't know how to handle that. There's no Buddha's teaching, understand of others. Only making law, writing on the paper. So then if you don't do this, you are jail. That much. But there's no special kind of say, the school say, you have to develop compassion because of this is suffering going through this. There's some curriculum in the school, in the college, about the compassion, about the importance of the mind, how to take care. It's so helpful, but we don't have that. All in the school, in the college, this all are just outside computer, especially computer science, economic, law school, and all these things teach you, but not really say causality about the virtue, non-virtues, the value of the human being, the value of the life. Don't have so much teaching because people don't have this access. Outside, they will all teach you how to make money, if you make money, how to be happy. Not so much there. This is just my experience. Some years ago, from Dehradun, in India, Dehradun to Delhi, I was taking. From Delhi, I was supposed to fly to somewhere. So then we through car. In between, there's a restaurant on the street, not a restaurant house, it's just on the street. There's a tea that they sell the tea, this. The restaurant was little, so not many people. There were only a few people there. We have some time, so the owner of the restaurant, so we got some talk. I speak very broken Hindi, some little Hindi. I said, how much you're working so hard to make money? I said, I said, yeah, I'm working hard. You make all those money when you die. What do you want to do? He said, hi. He felt really something, really felt something, That's right, So then I realized, in the country, there's no teaching that taught the people how to appreciate, They're only making, the advertising, how to make money, how the internet, all this, So then people are just running after that. If there's some special program, in the TV, something, in the national TV, say, we have to respect each other, how to appreciate what you achieve, and then, these values, real values, if they teach, how wonderful that will be. And when I said these things, he was little really, I felt little renunciation, I felt, that's true, So he gave me tea, free tea, So how much? I said, no, so he said, you take it. So my teaching, I got a free tea. So like that, you see, we need those teachings in the society, not some individual only, So that's how Buddha's teaching is based on this value, based on the causality, causes and conditions. Of course, not everyone the same, but there's some benefit in the society, like that you teach. So look at it, anyways, the suffering, look at, generally in the mind, nowadays, so much stressed people have, a lot of pressures they have, because to catch up, and everything become more expensive, So this time, when you have, as a Dharma practitioner, you always appreciate, you rejoice. And look at the suffering. There are so many people. I'm not that good, but I'm much better off than there's a lot of others. Look at the animals. You can see the animals suffering so much. I told that guy, look, the video of the suffering of the animals. The cattle farm, the fish farm, the poultry farm, chicken farm, how much they suffer. So much, for our own profit, the company's profit, how much we're tortured to those. And sometimes there's called chicken flu, isn't it? You killed millions for no purpose. So for our benefit, we kill them. Millions, isn't it? They dump alive under the ground. So look at the suffering, those. Not only being there our parents, but at that moment, they also want peace and happiness. They don't know the suffering, So why not there's some compassion can develop? But those individuals, they are taught, treat them as like a piece of rock, piece of wood, something like they have no life. This I saw in the TV, in a kitchen. Big restaurant. There's many kitchens inside, the different chef, they cook differently. So there's one chef, they showed, there's a fish tank next to him. And there's a kitchen stove, pan, hot pan, fire, And then he picked up a fish from the tank, a live fish. And I think there's some oil on the pan and throw there alive. And then smoke, So now people, they laugh, See? So something like amazing, something very wonderful. And after some time, the fish again jumped, and lay down. And we have no sense of that they are suffering. So how, that can bear that kind of suffering? To look at these things, that's the practical thing, reality, It's not a Buddhist thing. It's the reality in the samsara. Sharing the sensitivity of yours and others. Concern not only yours, but concern for others. Just look to yourself. If somebody does this for your body, how you feel? This. So the suffering, look at this. So that, then one after another life, unending. Sometimes we feel bad in a human life, next life in a different life. There's no guarantee next life will be human being, if we don't have a cause. So look at this suffering, how you want to continue this way in the samsara. You must free from samsara. Buddha taught how to free from samsara. This is not an easy thing to free from samsara. First of all, you don't know samsara is about. You don't know out of samsara is about. So how you can teach to free from samsara unless you have the wisdom, as Buddha has. That's why I say I'm not being a prejudice anybody else, but we as a Buddhist who got the opportunity to study these precious things, we're so fortunate. Unimaginably fortunate. We don't realize this. We take it as granted. We're not taken seriously. See? So because of this, develop compassion, loving kindness, bodhicitta. It's not only me, I'm suffering, but everyone is suffering. Now I have the privilege to be human being and encounter these precious teachings. I must do something. Develop bodhicitta. See? So this way, when you look at this suffering of samsara, sentient beings, bodhicitta can really enter into your heart. This is very precious. It's not just intellectual. You are not proving something, debating, but you are just, study and getting the meaning in your heart. So this Dharma follows the path in that way, the Dharma follows into the path. Because now you have no any doubt, no samsaric is just illusory nature. It's like, in the Bodhisattva dimension, a group of children, young, very young children, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4 years old, they go to the sand beach and they build castle, in the beach. So then they play, and so then they say, this is my castle, this is my garden, this is they play, they're playing so joyfully. And somebody comes there, kicks their castle, then they will cry, destroy my castle, and they just cry, helplessly they cry, It's something like that. The children have their toy car, and we have our own toy car. If somebody destroys their toy car, they will cry helplessly. And if somebody destroys our toy car, we cry helplessly, Basically, we all are toy children. See, And we may argue, the children toy car, they cannot do anything, Our car, we can drive, we have to bring food, things. This is also toy, They have used their way, we use our way. Both are children, Grown-up children and child children. Make these things our precious human life, how much we can do. This human body, that what we have, can cross the boundary of the samsara, go beyond the samsara. This precious human body, what we have, can develop bodhicitta, the wish-granting bodhicitta. So this precious human life is more than a jewel. So how dare you can waste it? It's not being a spiritual, it's being a practical. Utilize your wisdom, what it makes sense. Something meditation, Dharma meditation is a spiritual, Something some special individuals are supposed to do, not public to do, Just misunderstanding, confused. Everybody should do it. But everybody don't have this opportunity. So those who have it were so fortunate, so it's called. And take advantage of this as much as you can. They're saying, the king who dies on the golden throne, the beggar who dies on the street, at the time of death, what's the difference? The king cannot carry the golden throne in his back in next life, The beggar who dies in the street, there's nothing to miss him, He has to leave his body. The king has to leave his body. So what made special that the king who has sit on the golden throne, What specialty is there? He has only one stomach, only one mouth, The beggar has also only one stomach. So look at these things. Meditate, what is real, why we should do, what we should do, what makes the Dharma so precious, what the Buddha's wisdom makes so precious. In Buddha's teaching, as I usually say, to every sentient beings, not only for Buddhists, not only for monks and nuns, not for some communities, but every sentient beings, because Buddha's concern is for every sentient beings who are suffering. And the Kongchog that mentioned, Jiten Sumut said that. Chogi Kevin Dwachila Sumus, he said, Chogi Kevin Dharma King taught the Dharma teachings for every sentient beings. How marvelous this is, isn't it? So these reflect on this suffering. All this suffering is based on the karma. What we make karma, Sometimes we say, it's my karma, something from previous life, somebody giving to you. Like John Gene, Sometimes we say here, it's my genes, isn't it? It's not just a gene, And the family members, of course, there's some gene because they're maybe 3, 4, 5 brothers, sisters, from the same parent. There's some connections there because they have karma to bond together. But at the same time, everyone is individual. Some are smarter than others. Some are better disciplined than others. You can see precisely, So they have individual karma. So karma is not made somewhere, So, usually when bad things happen, it's my karma. We don't say so good things happen, it's my karma, Karma, both positive, negative karma. There's individual karma, there's a collective karma, Collective karma is international. Like say, the whole country is flooded. The people of that country made a collective karma to experience that, Or group karma, there's also, say, family group, society group, county group, or state group, whole country group, the karma, and whole international karma. Karma is this morning I mentioned, the Shariputra could not see the karma of that old man, It's very complex, but it's infallible. Karma is inexorable karma. We call that? What does that mean? Inexorable karma? Inexorable. You can't escape it. You cannot escape it, yeah. Inexorable karma. It's a very good word to memorize. We need some special words, So I try to look, but I'm so stupid. I'm not so smart, I learn and I forget. Oh.
So yeah, it means inevitable.
Inevitable.
Yeah, inevitable.
You see, once you met, it's then inevitable, unless you purify. See. So that Lord Gyaltshen Rinpoche put so much emphasis on karma. When karma comes, even Buddha has no ability to change it. Because Buddha is under the law of the karma. Because Buddha taught the karma. Buddha practiced the karma. According to the karma, Buddha purified all the negativities of the cause of the samsara and developed all the positive cause. Under that condition, purified all the obscurations, attained the Buddhahood. Then Buddha taught all to his all followers. I went this way. Now I'm sharing you. I'm sharing you how things functions. Buddha's compassion is also to the sentient beings are unbearable. So much compassion is there in Buddha. Because of that, he talked tirelessly. Not only that life after life, he taught. I become Buddha because of the sentient beings. Now my most to repay the kindness is the sentient beings that I have to repay. And that only I can do to share the wisdom. So that's why we take refuge in the Buddha. See, it's an unfailable refuge, Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So it's just, we should feel that, meditate on this. The causality is very, very important. No, indeed, regarding to this, there's a story. Should I share? This is also popular. You know the four animals, you have seen the pictures, drawing. It's called Four Harmonious Friends. I'm sure you have seen, it used to be very popular. It's giving, So four harmonious friends. The elephant, monkey, rabbit, bird, next to a big tree. It's very important. In the Buddha's life story, it's that there. Jataka, and the Jataka is there. The place called Kashika, big forest. There's a king. There's a kingdom. So in the forest, those four animals there. Then there's a spring water. So every occasion they come there to drink the water, and they meet. After many years, so they know each other so well, and they become friends. After they become friends, 10 years, Then, you see, then one day they said, we don't know who's older and young. And then they said, the elephant said, maybe I'm older. The first, when I came to here to drink water, what first my memory said, this tree, let us say the tree is my size. So elephants, they speak, a baby elephant, I'm my size. Then the monkey said, oh, in that case, I'm older. Because the first when my memory of the tree is the few branches, the tree. And the rabbit said, oh, in that case, I'm older. The first when I remember, they said, only a few leaves, just sprout, sprout coming on the ground. Then the bird said, oh, in that case, I'm the oldest, he said, because I ate the fruit from another tree and came here to drink the water, and I shed the seed here, and that is grow, Okay, so then now the picture you see, elephant, monkey, rabbit, and the bird, No, that is so. So like that, you see. Then after that, after some years or something, they were so friendly, respecting each other so well, That's called for harmonious friend. Then the bird said, it's wonderful now. Well, become so good friend to each other. Now it's a good thing we should do is we should keep the 5 precepts. Not taking life, not stealing, not sexual misconduct, not to drink, trust the karma. Because that time there was no drug, no alcohol, Let's trust the karma, causality. And there's, that sounds so wonderful. It's a wisdom that will really save us to be a good friend. We don't harm each other, no confuse each other, not taking advantage of each other, So that they stayed like that way for some years. Then bird said, now I think we have done so successful about this practice. It's not just ourselves, but we share to all the animals in this forest. Elephant, your responsibility is to share to all the like tigers, those who have tongue, this claw, all this you are responsible. And monkey, you have responsible that way. And the rabbit, yes. Bird, you teach to all, I will teach to all the birds about that. So the animals, so they did this, and everybody took that, precept, or I should say, kept that discipline. Then after many years, the country became more peaceful. The rain falls in the right time, no pandemic, and harvest, timely harvest. All the crops grow so well, and whole country becomes a bountiful, beautiful place. Even these whole people in the country, they felt that, the benefit. So the king was thinking, because I took care of the people, this is happening, And all the people saying, we respected the king so well because of that, Then there was a meditator way in the mountain. He heard of that. Then he said to the king and to the people, it's not because of yours. It's because these 4 animals, what they did, that he explained to the other people. Then everyone is so impressed. Even the animal can do this. Why not we human beings should do this, So the king told to all his people to practice that. And it becomes much better. And then everyone is born back to human being, kept the precept, Human beings in the God realms, it's so beautiful, So this, see, why the 5 precepts? It doesn't contradict your belief. Doesn't matter you are Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist. It doesn't contradict your belief, It is harmonious to anybody. Even who don't believe anything, they can also practice this. It's universal. So this is what we need in the world. For real, the climate change, the environment, We don't have to go after the planting the trees, Teach these people, do these things, Explain these things to the people. So much better now and the future. To plant tree is one time. How much you can plant, To clean the garbage, how much you can clean the garbage. One time. You cannot. But instead, if you teach this 5 precepts, anywhere you go, any places you go, people appreciate, respect. This is the foundation of the Buddha's teaching for peace in the world. From this foundation, you built, then monks and nuns precept, full bhikkhu precept, and then it's built, bodhicitta is built on these 5 precepts. Vajrayana practice is built on this precept. It's the foundation of all the spiritual growth. Make sense? This is how now. This way you can follow the Dharma onto the path. You have any questions?
About karma, and we're ending negative karma. Isn't there also something said about you have to also end even positive karmas, like all karmas are finished before a Buddha becomes a Buddha?
Not finished, perfected.
But
Yeah, perfected. Yes.
Okay.
Perfected is its mission. There's 2 perfection. The perfection of the purification, all the obscurations, whatever, subtle, gross, totally purified. And all that need to be accomplished, like say, loving kindness, perfect your loving kindness, perfect your compassion practice, perfect your bodhicitta. It's a perfection. So, perfection of the purification and perfection of the attainment. Then you become Buddha.
She's saying, has anyone ever become perfect? Has anyone ever become perfect? Is that what you said, Sarah? Yeah.
Yes, Milarepa.
Milarepa. You said practice Dharma not for this life, it's for next life. What if I don't
don't have strong feelings about past life and next life, where I don't know about it, so I don't have faith about it. What do I do?
Now, this is just very simple. We don't know, yes, previous life. Even I don't know previous life. It's my belief. I don't know my next life. But I know I come from yesterday. No? I know tomorrow I have to eat breakfast, so I have to prepare. No? If I say I don't see it tomorrow, no, I don't care. No, then why should I eat tomorrow?
But I still
Yes.
practice Dharma not for next life. I just
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah.
So this next life you don't see next. I mean, you don't believe next life because you don't see it. That doesn't mean there's no next life. You cannot prove there's no next life, but you don't see there's next life. We have to understand this distinction. If people say, I don't believe in next life, you don't believe because you don't see it or you don't know.
How do you distinguish my practice if it is for this life or it's for next life? How do you distinguish that?
That you see, to become famous this life, Dharma, read Dharma. Oh, I know this chapter, I know this chapter. Now I know all this. Now I can explain to people, I become famous. So this life, you see, you don't think for next life. But instead, I'm practicing Dharma, not for this life, but to free from cycle of the suffering. See? 가요 말다 뒤에 말해. 제 말해. 프랑스 농에서 도시 그래.
Is it gonna reach me? Yeah. So I'm curious how forgiveness works with the teachings and the practice for people who still feel very strongly with the entanglements of trauma and struggle, not only for this life, but like previous generations and previous lives.
Forgiveness,
yes.
First, for your CC, for next life, first of all, there are a lot of accounts. There's a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but quite number of children, when they're 3, 4, 5, they remember their previous life. I saw in the ABC news, I'm sure you have heard of ABC news. Somewhere in Texas, a family was Christian, very strong Christian, but they have a boy, a son, 6 or 7 years old. They're a good family, so they bought aeroplane for toy. So actually, the boy really liked the aeroplanes. So I want some. He collects so many. Then he's telling, I used to be pilot, during the World War II, pilot. And then he's telling, during my pilot, my co-pilot is named this. And then they advertise, what is this? Is there anybody whose name is called such? And they found his co-pilot was still alive. And asked all the questions. Then he said, yeah, that's right. This during the World War II, he was His aeroplane was crashed and died. So this, you see, there's a lot of evidence. There's a previous life that shows there's next life, you know. Your question that forgive for what you said.
Forgiveness towards all the past people, things.
It's a bad thing, bad people, yeah.
Just
who
inflict violence and trauma and struggle.
Who give forgiveness. That's if you look at the suffering as I was talking about, you see, that will give you such a great opportunity to forgive, because those individuals suffering so much. Like say, for example, like me, I don't want to be angry at all. I want to be very peaceful. But when I meet causes condition, my anger pops up. I express my anger. No, because that time, how much suffering I have. You know, so look at that. So that person is suffering. I have to forgive. In the world, nobody wants suffering. Nobody wants to be angry. But it happens. Then that time, there's so much suffering there. It's due to delusions. So there is the best opportunity to forgive and practice compassion, loving kindness. No, that's why we need the Dharma for all. See? Yes, yeah, go ahead.
So I was speaking with my friend Alexis from Boston, and I was talking to her today about Vajrasattva.
Oh,
And I was like, I feel like sometimes being raised Christian, and you're supposed to drink the wine, eat the bread, do blah blah, Hail Mary, whatever. And sometimes I feel like when I'm doing Vajrasattva, and you're just supposed to be getting purification, but I kind of feel like it's not going into my inner awe. So how do I transform my mind to really ask for forgiveness for the stuff I've done to others, along with continuing to practice Dhamma?
You know, when you practice the Vajrasattva, there are 4 powers, you know. Power of, what's first power? Sunjin. Oh, power of Sunjin. Nimbo Sunjin ba. You know, Sunjin ba top. Feeling of, what's it? No? Remorse, yeah, power of remorse. First you need power of remorse. Very important. Out of my ignorance or out of my negligence, without mindfulness, I made this mistake. So feel remorse. Then next, I will not repeat again. It's very important, you know. Remorse means mistake is made, but it's not delightful. It's regretful, cause of suffering for myself and others. There's a remorse. Now the next resolve, power, never repeat again, because it's cause of suffering. Then power of antidote, you know, power of antidote, you see. Then antidote, you practice in Dharma as much as you can. Then power of reliance, you rely on the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Now I will follow in the footsteps of the Buddha, the Dharma, Sangha, and practice bodhicitta. So through these four powers, then there's a very good opportunity, at least not to increase the negative karma you met, or anybody, Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
So there's a question that's come in via email. It says, I have a dear friend who has been diagnosed with terminal cancer recently, and I can see he and his family are experiencing lots of suffering and confusion. Could Venerable Khenchen Rinpoche provide some suggestions on how a Dharma practitioner like me could help to relieve some suffering in this very difficult situation?
First, what we can do is accept. Say, no, I understand you are suffering. I feel also empathy. I'm with you, And then, please let us know, or let me know what I can do for you. So give this comfort, at least, And then if that individual is Dharma practitioner, then suggestions, some practices Dharma. Like this short Guru that we did this morning, It's really good. It's such a precious. So it's so short. You just visualize a practitioner, if that is practitioner. Then you just say some prayers. Even you cannot say aloud. Just reflect on the meanings. And then the light, coming through step by step. Purify your body, mind, speech, and all this step by step. Dissolve into you. And try to relax that. That will ease so much the mind. So there's kind of suggestions there. Okay. Oh, dedication. English read that.
Yes, page 12. For this realm encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you who are one with Avalokiteshvara, may you remain steadfast until samsara's end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Padmapani, who holds the teachings of the Victorious One, seeing the all-goodness meaning with the wisdom eye, may you, who are spontaneously established activities, live long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of Speech, who manifests to hold the teachings of the Triple Gem, who raises the lamp of the sage's teachings, may you, who are the light of the Dharma, live long for hundreds of kalpas. The one known in the Holy Land as Arya Deva, emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Chodingpa, the heart son of Jigten Sumgong. May the life of glorious Gyaltshen remain steadfast for 100 aeons. You who are richly endowed with the glorious wealth of Dharma knowledge, who through reflecting and meditating have actualized the self-aware absolute reality and shine with the 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of the Buddha Dharma, may you, Khenchen Ratnadwaza, live long. Page 17. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root, and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yedams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogins, yogis, and dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the four causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shravaka or Pratyekya Buddha. May all mothers, sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Maras, and the hordes of demons experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such, and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Thank you, everybody.